Hello everybody, this is Dreadheaded N. In this video we're talking about 5 do's and 5 don'ts about your hair. So if you're interested in that video, please stick around and subscribe, like, share. Thank you. Alright everybody, this is do number 1, right? You have to be patient about your hair because like grass, it doesn't grow overnight. You know, you have to go through certain processes and inputs for it to actually reach where you want it to be at a certain point, you know? So in doing that, you're gonna have to know that it's gonna be a process. Because this, right now, these dreads you're seeing, this is 9 months of hair. So imagine how it must have looked at month 0. Because, yo, I could not leave the house, you know. I wanted to cut it off at some point. But my mom was like, chill, it grows at some point. Because I got my dreads because of my mom. She has dreads. And I was like, wait, if she can do it, I can do it too, man. You know? And then, yeah. And I'm glad I didn't cut them off. Because having had that hope that it was just gonna grow at some point. Here I am. Damn, my voice is craggy. But anyways, yeah, just be patient about it, because the more patience you have about your hair growth process, the more you're gonna, like, you know, pay attention to exactly how it's growing, why it's growing this fast or this slow, etc. All those things, you start to notice them because you're actually paying attention to your hair, you know. So yeah, that's do number 1, be patient. Alright everybody, this is do number 2, be positive. Be positive about your hair. Why? Because the more positive you are about your hair, the more you start to invest in your hair. The more you start to invest in your hair, the more you start to notice the things that you're supposed to be doing about your hair, because you start to notice that there's certain inputs that you need to be putting into your hair now that you weren't putting before, you know? And then in the process of doing that, you start to, you know, be more in tune with your hair growth process, because now your hair is like a plant to you. It's kind of like being a plant parent. You know, it's like the moment you start being a plant parent, you have to take care of this plant. Otherwise, it's not gonna grow. It's not going to survive at all. The same thing with your hair, bro. If you grow it out, you're gonna have to put in the inputs, the moisturizers, all that type of stuff, so that your hair actually is comfortable and is in a condition where it can grow to the length that you want it to grow, or to the volume that you want it to grow. So yeah, be positive. That is do number 2. Alright, so here's do number 3. Have a hair goal. Because if you do have a goal, right, that means you have a reason not to cut off your hair. You have a reason to take care of your hair. You have a reason to actually grow it out now. You know, because you want to reach a certain point of your hair where your hair is just, you know, at the perfect length or the perfect volume to you, you know. For me, my goal is to have at least shoulder length hair, you know. So yeah, and until that point, I'm gonna grow this out unapologetically, even, because it's my hair, you know. You guys should do the same, because the moment you have a goal, right, the rest just becomes easy. It's like you know what you're supposed to do to reach that goal now, you know. It actually adds on to the whole be positive point, because if you're positive about it, that means it's easier for you to work towards that goal, you know. So yeah, do number 3, have a goal. Alright, here is do number 4. In do number 4, that is have a balanced diet. Why do you have a balanced diet? Because, well, your hair is part of your body, right? And your body needs nutrients to grow. Some certain nutrients go to some certain areas to do certain things. Like, for example, I think we have the protein, which helps with muscle growth. It helps with, you know, hair follicles too. So you have to eat that. And then there's so many other nutrients that you can, like, put into your plate that are gonna help your hair growth, right? So if you're not eating enough of those, or if you're eating too much of those, it will affect your hair growth. So keep in mind that you're supposed to have a balanced diet. Alright, so here's do number 5, guys. Have a routine. Like a morning moisturizing routine, a before going to sleep moisturizing routine, a wash day routine, whatever type of routine you can think of for your hair, have it. Because it's gonna help. Why? Because your hair is gonna be conditioned to having that. It's like you put fertilizer on grass, right? You're gonna be doing that, I think, routinely, because that's how it's supposed to be until your grass grows to the point that you want it to grow. It's the same thing with your hair. You moisturize it, right? You moisturize it. You take care of it. You like do all sorts of things. You wear the bonnets. You wear the Durex. You go to your locticians, your hairstylists, etc., your barbers, all that. As long as these guys are like doing something to your hair, or you're doing something to your hair routinely, is going to help. Because like low-key, you might overthink about it, or you might overlook it, right? But going to the barber, going to your hairstylist, going to your loctician, it's going to do wonders for your hair. But do not go too often. So yeah, that is do number 5. Have a routine for your hair, because having a routine is going to do wonders for your hair growth journey. Alright, so here is don't number 1. Do not compare your hair to somebody else's, because the moment you compare your hair to somebody else's, you're gonna get discouraged, because some people's hair grows faster than others. Some people's hair just, I don't know, it grows with more volume than others, depending on your scalp. So focus on your hair, not somebody else's, because your hair is what you're growing, not theirs. They're growing their hair. Whatever they're doing, you could ask them for like some tips, but don't assume that whatever they're doing is going to work the same way that it's working for them, for you, because your hair is different from theirs. Your scalp is different from theirs. You are a different person than them. Genetically, they might just have the ability to grow their hair faster than yours, or they might just have the ability to have more volume than others. It varies from person to person, because the best example I can give is like locks. Somebody told me that locks, like with locks, nobody has the same set of locks as somebody else's. And that's true. I noticed that the moment they said it, because I looked at my dreads, and then I looked at the dreads of some other guys who were there at the school at the time. And then I was looking at it, I noticed that they're, like, even among themselves, it's completely different. Like, volume-wise, thickness-wise, etc. It's like, their hair is their hair. Like, I admire their hair, because there's some features of their hair that I would want in mine. But then, like, I know myself, I'm I'm in tune with my hair, so I know exactly what I'm supposed to do, because it's growing the way that it's supposed to be growing, and eventually it'll look the way I want it to look. But for now, I'm just gonna be putting in the work and the effort. So yeah, that is don't number 1. Do not compare your hair to somebody else's. Alright, here's don't number 2. Do not abuse your hair, bro. Like, don't go to the stylist too frequently. Don't go to your barber too frequently. Don't dye your hair too frequently. Don't apply so many different like moisturizers and hair products in your hair, because like all you're doing is just like confusing it now. It's either you're putting it under too much strain by going to your stylist more often, or you're like stripping the nutrients away from your hair with the chemicals. Because, for example, with some shampoos, a lot of shampoos have this sulfate stuff at the back, chemicals you don't even know about. I'm pretty sure you don't even look into those, right? So then who knows what those chemicals are doing to your hair? Because some shampoos, I shouldn't lie, some shampoos actually do make your hair a little drier after you shampoo, which I realize that when you're shampooing, it's supposed to like wash your hair, but there's some shampoos that after washing your hair, from experience, they leave some sort of moisture in your hair and some sort of sheen that's supposed to be there, right? I think the organics products, yeah, those usually do that. But then I'm not, I'm not advertising. But yeah, continuing on that point, do not abuse hair growth products that have too many foreign chemicals in them. I advise you use the natural oils like I don't know, probably castor oil, jojoba oil, any type of natural oil that you know is gonna be good for your scalp. Use those because those do wonders naturally. Even like it's in the name, natural oil. like you know. So yeah, I'm not saying don't use the other products. You can use those, but use them like efficiently but sparingly, because like putting chemicals in your hair, I don't know, like of course yeah it helps here and there, but chemicals, bro, you don't know what they're doing to your scalp. You might actually just be weakening the base of your scalp because you're there trying to put chemicals in it, but the natural oils kind of like rejuvenate that. I've kind of noticed that because my volume has been so much better since I started using natural oils instead of the the products. Because I used to be on every other product, like as long as it said grows your hair, I was like, I'm getting that. But then now I only look at specific products. Like I always look at the back of the product and make sure that I know it doesn't have too many chemicals that I'm putting into my hair, because I want to take care of my hair in the most natural way possible. So depending on what you want to do with your hair and what your hair needs, then be careful with which products that you choose for your hair. So yeah, that is don't number 2. Don't abuse your hair. Alright, so here's don't number 3. Do not, and I mean do not lose hope. Because the moment you lose hope in growing your hair, you're gonna start saying things like, yo, I'm finna cut off my hair. Yo, my hair isn't growing. Yo, my hair this, my hair that. And the most sad statements ever. Like every time somebody tells me that, I always like I get so disappointed, bro. It's like, dude, your hair, you could grow it out to like lengths that like even I probably wouldn't reach in the amount of time that you could grow it in, right? But then they lose hope, and it's like, dude, your hair looks amazing. Like every time somebody says that, it's the people with like a lot of hair that always like, oh, okay, I think I should cut off my hair now. Like, but yeah, just like don't lose hope, because the moment you lose hope in growing that hair, dude, you're gonna lose all the progress that you put into your hair. You're gonna lose all those investments. You're gonna have to start over, even if you want to like start growing your hair again. Like most people who cut off their hair always go like, damn, why did I cut off my hair? Because now they have to start over again, from scratch. When really, if they just didn't cut it off, they didn't lose that hope, they would have kept their hair. They would have, like, at this point, they could have even been double that. Since if you think about it, if you start over, the amount of time it took for you to start over your hair growth process, you might have grown that same amount of hair if you didn't cut it off. So imagine, like, let's say you grew this amount of hair, like, before cutting off, and you're like, I have to start over, and you grow it again. That means you could have had this amount of hair if you didn't cut it off. That's really long, dude. Like, think about it. So yeah, that's don't number 3. Do not lose hope. Don't number 4. Don't wash too frequently. Why? Because the more, like I explained, when you wash your hair, you are removing the the nutrients that were on your scalp, right? Like your natural oils or your hair products. You're removing all of that. That's the whole process of you like washing your hair. But then your hair at the same time also has some other stuff that's on your scalp, which is like your sweat and other natural oils that your body produces, right? So then those things that your body produces actually help with your hair growth process, along with or in tandem with the with the products that you're putting in your hair, like natural oils or other moisturizing chemicals or products. So in the process of doing that, if you're washing probably like every other day, then you're gonna be like removing it every other day. So then the whole process of you removing it is gonna slow down or stunt your hair growth process. So I advise that you do not wash too frequently, because washing too frequently is gonna be bad for the moisturizing effect. You're removing the moisture when you're supposed to keep in the moisture. That's the point of you moisturizing, because when you're moisturizing, you add the oil, like the natural oils or the hair products, so you keep the water in. So if you're moisturizing more frequently, then your hair is always moisturized. But if you're washing more frequently, then that means your hair is not always moisturized, because you're removing the moisture trapping effect of the natural oils or the hair products. So please do not wash too frequently, because it's going to strip your hair of these things that it needs. So yeah. Lastly, tip or don't number 5: do not have an unbalanced diet. Your diet is going to have a huge effect on your hair, right? It's gonna have a huge effect on your life. It's gonna have a huge effect on you as a person, because if you are constantly always like, yo, I'm weak, when you haven't eaten the whole ass day, then that's on you, bro. Like, your hair, your body needs these nutrients. So have that balanced diet. Having that balanced diet is going to help you have the strength to do these moisturizing things that you want to do, to go to these events that you want to show off your hair for, like, you're gonna need this energy, you're gonna need these nutrients. Not only does your body need them, your hair, trust me, it needs that stuff. Like, honestly, like, it's gonna help. I don't have any much more to say on that, because it's pretty self-explanatory. Like, just have that balanced diet, guys. Like, honestly, it's gonna do wonders for you. Alright, everybody, that was the video. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing if you subscribed. Thank you for liking the video if you liked. Have a nice day. Have a nice night. Wherever you are, wherever you are.